All right, greetings, Internet. So this round we are going to go for the guitars on No Mo by Big Daddy and the Blue Notes. Blues guitars. We'll start off. Let me show you what we started with and what we ended up with. So here's the guitar, sans any processing, just up in the faders to match with the drums. All right, and here's what we ended up with. All right. So not a massive difference in the sound. We will start with this rhythm guitar, and we'll bring it up to the beginning of the song. So the send level A, the song starts with the electric guitar, and obviously I've got a reverb delay going on here. So tape echoes. So I've got delay and max reverb on here. So obviously I wanted that cleaner going in, so I automated the level down. So if you just do that. From that to this. To all the way up. And you can hear the drums in the background because this was all recorded together. How music should be done for the most part, as far as I'm concerned. Best feeling in the world is actually getting a band playing in a room together and capturing what's going to be at least like 80 to 90% of the song. There's no better feeling when tracking, at least in my opinion. Okay, so let's go for this guitar. We will start with the guitar. Just a clean electric. Let's get rid of that reverb. Before you are asking, because I know all of you are wondering, this was recorded on an old Yamaha O2R. I don't think at the time I had any external preamps. The best preamp we had were the stock Yamaha preamps, and I think we had a DBX 286, like fairly inexpensive tube pre with a compressor and EQ or both. I can't remember. I'll have to look it up. You go look it up. And I can't remember which we actually tracked with this rhythm with. Microphone-wise, Shure SM57, same thing on the slide. On the amp, that was it. I think they are running a Fender Twin on both amps, if I remember correctly. And yeah, you can't really go wrong with a 57 on an amplifier. There's plenty of other things you can do. Royers are great. Ribbons in general are really great on guitar amps, but if you're on a budget, man, like SM57, I mean, can't go wrong on snare, can't go wrong on guitars. They're good mics. Work on vocals in a pinch. If you have $100 to spend and you want to start on something, there you go. Anyway, guitar. I mentioned earlier when I was doing drums, the Renaissance package from Waves, absolutely great. So, electric guitar, these red channels are my electric. Clean electric guitar, so it's not like I'm doing a ton of distortion, really anything really heavy. EQ and compression, and a feed to the effects. That's it. You've heard it. You can hear it raw right here. It's not exactly bad. I mean, sometimes with electric guitars, just get out of the way. I did a little more with the steel, with the slide guitar, but I think he was doing a lap steel. Lap steels sound a little more rock and roll than pedal steels for the most part. Anyway, at least the way Dave was always playing them. EQ wise, we'll fire this up first. High pass, what was it, 150 and 583 hertz cut. That's it. So turn that off and turn this off. See, there's a little bit going on there. little chunk chunk. All I did was get rid of that little low-end chunk that's not really part of the sound he's going for. Let's go later in the song where he's playing a bit more. It's most of the part. I want to thin it out, leave a little more room for some of my low end. Mute it real quick. There you go. It's not, I mean, as you can hear, it's not doing a ton to the sound at all. All it's doing is getting rid of some low end I don't want with that high pass, and then getting rid of some of that mud with that 583 hertz cut. That's it. Like, it's 3 dB. All it's doing is cleaning up that signal. All right, with the Renaissance Axe, again, great plugin. Threshold 8.5, didn't even change the gain, didn't change the attack, just made it a little more aggressive. Try and equivalate there, and not quite. Bring the gain so like volume. So volume plays tricks with your head with compression. If it's louder, apparently your brain says it sounds better. So we're just going to try and bring the volumes to match real quick. All right, close enough. So you can hear that basically all I'm doing is it adds some dynamics control. The top end sounds a little smoother because it's gripping and pulling that down. And yeah, have a little bit more control in those low mids. And I mean, it sounds a little smoother. That's all I'm going for. All right, so let's bring this volume back up because I mixed it with that. And add that reverb. So with, typically you want springs on guitars. I'm doing an experiment. I need to buy one. I do not have a good spring reverb that I own. I've got the tape echoes. I've got, lots of multi-purpose reverbs. So got the Echosphere, the CLA Epic, IRL, which I don't think I have a good spring for that. I've got the stock Air spring reverb that comes with Pro Tools, and that's it. This particular setup, I just set on tape echoes. It sounds fantastic. It gives me some delay and some reverb. Massive sounding. I think what I should do is actually cut some low end. That's better. Should have done that already. All right, that's it for that. Let's do an experiment. Let's mute these. We're going to show you how to do it. All right. So, guitars in general. If you have a really good electric guitar and you like the sound of it, don't futz with it. I do a lot more processing with drums because just drums typically take a bit more work to get where you want them. Things like electric guitar, if you record them the way you want, it's just getting them out of the way, or getting frequencies that you don't want out of the way. So let's just start. Let's mute that reverb again. So chunk, right? Hear that chunk? There. I just don't want that low end to be jumping on as much. All right. We're going to find there. You don't want too much. You don't want to cut out too much low end. All right. Now we're going to do something else. Sounds fine. I'm going to see if I can find a really annoying frequency to play with, but I like it. You want to sound harsh, you throw something up here. I get a lot of guitars, especially live lately, where I'd like really present in 2K. Really annoying, so just do a little drop. This is fine, so I was hoping for a better example for you, but I do not have one. We'll find a crappy guitar recording or something that's just more aggressive sounding that I want to get rid of some stuff. Let's do something a little different. So Renaissance Axe, we're just going to fire that, then we'll move on to something else. There. All right. Watch. So one thing about the Axe is it's amazing how quick it can be too much. So watch. Fine. About perfect. Really aggressive. And way too much. So we're just taming little dynamics, especially on something that's clean. That's it. All right. Let's have a little fun. Let's do the FET. Do an 8-to-1. 4-to-1's actually great too. 3-to-1 be fine. I can't remember. I think if it's in the... Is a 3-to-1 part of the CLA series? Nope. 4, 8, 12, 20. All right. So one cool thing about the FET from Softube, I still like and use the CLA 76. Great one. Use it live all the time. Anyway, you can do lower thresholds, or not lower thresholds, lower ratios. So if you want to do a 3-to-1 on your guitar, go for it. I'm a little less gentle. Let's go 4-to-1. With these FETs, obviously they don't have thresholds. They have input gain and output. The idea is to just sort of match them, get your compression where you want. So one thing I'm going to do is actually speed up this release. And slow down the attack at 3 a little bit more. Let's get a little dirty. On, okay. Add a little distortion on there. Doesn't fit the song, but you can have a lot of fun. The cool thing about the drive on this thing is it's super aggressive. It's super present. Definitely adding a little overdrive on there. It's not harsh, so you can actually have a lot of fun with it. Yeah, add some top end. Just playing with the side chain. We're not going to. We're going to keep the Axe. I want to keep it clean, but you can have a lot of fun with this. There you go. Enough experimenting. The FET's fun. If you wanted to play with the Waves, which is also a classic, we'll keep the black on. I always keep the analog off. I don't like the hiss. Anyway, 4-to-1. Speed up the release. That's great. Easy peasy. Do it with the 76. I'll do it. '76 actually sounds a little faster, at least the release. A little more open on the top end, a little less grippy on your low mids, which is very useful. It's actually, this particular setup actually sounds a little cleaner. Lets your high mid stand out a little bit more. I would, in this case, drop maybe about right here a little bit if I were doing that. Anyway, all fun and games. Sounds fun. We'll leave this here for now and move on to this slide guitar. Pedal steel. I know all of you are really looking how to do a slide guitar, but we'll just do this and loop it. Oopsie. All right, do here to here. Get rid of that long intro. All right. So that's without. Let's do with some processing. So REQ, again, cuts only. Here's without. Sounds great. So all I did, again, this is just clearing up space for the bass guitar and your low end. As you can hear, it's doing nothing to the actual sound. Just if there's something in there, just cleans it up. 500 hertz cuts. Again, cleaning up the signal. Sounds a little harsh. Cut at 3.1. You see it build up right here. This is where we're going to have a little bit of fun. FET. Added some drive. And 3 to 5 dB of compression. It's a great amount. 4 to 1 on the ratio. Fast-ish attack. Well, fast attack. Really fast release. And on the F6, drop some high end, just some air, and add a little bit of dynamic EQ on the band. 5th band, 2500. Hear that? It can be a little grainy, a little harsh. And that's it. Add that reverb in there. Fantastic. Now, also in here is another part of the slide guitar. So before I edited I never even crossfaded. How dare I? Okay, you always want to crossfade when you do cuts. It's just a volume change, but it should have been done. That was very, very amateur-y of me. What was that for now? Do the rest later. Oh, there we go. I did do them later. Okay. So on these little chunks, palm muting basically, I boost the signal 4.7 dB across the board and left these little slides alone. That's all I was doing here. This track I wanted separate processing. So here's without. It still sounds pretty good. So same EQ on the other one. And compression. Same compression. That's it. And in context with the mix. Let's get some drums. Turn the bus on. With the bus, again, tape added a lot. Without. So, I mean, again, with this tape saturation, it takes a little bit of listening to. It just adds a little bit of smoothness to it, which I like. And bus compressor, this is the SSL. Every now and then, SSL, they did it again a couple weeks ago, does a bundle where you can get this compressor and the native channel strip. Fire up, please. For like $50. And I really, really like it. It sounds good. And for $50, you cannot go wrong. And they sound really good. I like them better than the old Waves SSL. Just sound a little better. Different, definitely. Very useful for both. Again, still use both. I've started using this in place of the Waves one Whoop-de-doo waves, can't win them all. Anyway, 2-to-1 ratio, so a little more aggressive than, say, a vocal or the drums. I usually do it stick to a 1.5, no side chain. So 600 millisecond on the release. I should probably speed it up, but that's fine. 100% wet. And that's about it. Typically on buses, I don't go super fast on the attack because I like letting the attack get through. If I feel like it's a little much on whatever instrument, I'll usually speed it up. But, I mean, drums, I'll typically do it at 10. What did I do on drums? 6. Didn't have a 10 option. Sometimes I'll do 3, even on drums. That's usually getting pretty fast for drums. I love 3 milliseconds on the attack. On my buses a lot. I do that quite often. Where's my... Right now my Bus Plus is set at 10. So, and that's for the main mix. Actually, I'm not using it on this mix, but last mix I was working on. Anyway, that's it. Again, buses are simple. I didn't even use EQ on this one. And that's all there is to it. Gonna move on to the slide guitar.